mind work backwards just for a minute. I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember. almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember, I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember. When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember, I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember. When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you, you lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember how we felt alive. I remember you, you make me stronger. Can't go without it much longer. Remember, remember, I
G'day Roosters, how are we going? Welcome to the August Mancave sessions for the Dusty Visor motorcycles. Good to see you here. What have we got on today? We've got quite a bit happening at the moment. Even though it's only mid-August, we had a bit of warm weather. Feels like it's riding weather, but long story. But I've still got bikes. Well, actually, I don't have bikes and bits. I've actually got them all sorted out. But anyway, got a sore throat, which is slowing me down. So I apologise for no beers from me tonight. But anyway, plenty to talk about. MotoGP, also a bunch of other stuff. Anyway, let's get into it, So we're talking about MotoGP. We know that we did a round at Argentina this year, back at Rio Hondo, I think it's called. That's up way north of Buenos Aires in a state called Santiago del Estero. Way north. I've actually been there myself a few years ago. Had quite a good time there. So anyway, they missed out last year, and then they had one this year, and they've just recently announced that next year they're going to have the GP in Buenos Aires. Now, what does that mean? That means you don't have an internal flight of 2.5 hours once you get into Buenos Aires, so it's going to be easier for people to go to and to see. So that's great news. Although, I don't know, Buenos Aires gets everything and the other states miss out. I can say that from an inside source that it was a political decision, and I'm sure there was some internal inside of Buenos Aires money changing hands here and there. So to get it back down to Buenos Aires, the track at Rio Hondo was a purpose-built track, beautiful facility. Okay, now the one in Buenos Aires, they're going to patch up an old track and try and get up to snuff. Knowing Argentina and what a bit of a basket case it is, I'm guessing they're not going to do it in time, and they're actually going to go back to Rio Hondo. So that's my call. Buenos Aires, I don't think it's going to go to Buenos Aires. I don't think. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents worth. MotoGP, what else has been happening? Well, as we speak right now, FP1 is just started in Austria. Okay, they've had a big summer break. I think 3 weeks they had off, 3 or 4 weeks. They've had off for summer break, and they're back into it. So interesting to see. I'm sure that Marc Marquez will still be in top form. It's not necessarily one of his better tracks, but I'm sure in the form he is, he's going to have a good weekend if he can stay on the bike, of course, not wipe everybody out. G'day Q, Q's here. All the Steves are here. We've got one from the West Coast and one from Melbourne. That's blooming great. A few other people online. Just drop into the chat and let us know who you are. Say g'day. And we just put anything you like to talk about in there. So, yeah, Kazakhstan. That raised a few eyebrows when they announced they're going to race at Kazakhstan. But I guess it hasn't happened yet. I think it's a beautiful track, though. Anyway, the free practice for FP1 just started up. So, if anybody's watching that on another screen, just let us know if anything worth any new lap records or anything in the middle of our live stream. Jack Miller. Now, while we're talking MotoGP, Jack Miller, of course, he races for Pramac Yamaha. He only had a 1-season contract, and Oliveira had a 2-season contract. Now it's the end. Now's the time where all the teams are sorting out their riders for the next seasons. Jack still doesn't have a seat yet. Now, of course, Jack Miller, he's the fastest Pramac rider at the moment by a long shot. He's been consistent, hovering in the sort of around 10th at the finishing line, sometimes a bit under 10th, sometimes a bit over. He still doesn't have a ride yet. Now, Top Rack, of course, it's coming over from Superbikes, World Superbikes next season. There's only 1 seat left. And Oliveira's got a 2-year contract. Takes him through to the end of 2026. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. They're going to have to decide in the next week or so. So we'll know for sure what happens between now and the next Man Cave session, where we'll know for sure what's happening to Jack Miller. Of course, he just finished the Suzuka 8 Hour last weekend, I think it was. Had a fantastic run there. He ended up second overall to Zarco. So there was 2 GP riders there, MotoGP riders. Ended up second after 8 hours. There was less than a minute between them. So fantastic race it was. A couple of nasty crashes as well. I see the best Ducati team that was in the top 10, they crashed out around the halfway mark, I think it was. Steve can probably confirm that. But anyway, Suzuka 8 Hour, massive crowd there as well. And we don't get to see a lot of those longer sort of races, endurance type races. They don't get televised very often. This one was, although I couldn't find it live, so I had Steve updating me as things went on. But anyway, good effort, great effort by Jack Miller, and also old Joan Zarco. So yeah, make or break for Jack Miller. If he doesn't get a seat on Pramac, Yamaha again, back on that team, I don't know, I think he'll end up either a test rider or off to World Superbike. We'll see what happens. Anyway. But he has done very well for them this year. What else has been happening? Argentina we've talked about. What else? Oh, there's some more news. So Dainese. Those of you who know Dainese know that Dainese also owns AGV helmets, very well known. Okay, so two Italian well-known Italian brands. They unfortunately have been having a few issues, and the investment company that was based in England sold the whole lot. Oops, we don't want to go there. So sold the whole lot for €1. There we go, that's better. Sold it all for €1. So whole of Dainese, whole of AGV sold for €1. So interesting to see what happens. Are they going to restructure? I guess they'll have to if they got in that much trouble. There was a lot of money that was lost. So not sure what's happening there. But there you go. Dainese and AGV. Would have been a good deal for €1. Reminds me of the MV Augusta. How much did that get sold for? I know it was cheap. Anyway, that was what's happening with Dainese. I happen to have an AGV helmet, which I'm going to do a review of on the channel in the next month or two. I haven't even really had time to take it out of the box. I've been too busy working on some multi-stratas, pulling some good bits off one and putting them onto another. Have had some help from a couple of mates, lifting things and holding things. We basically had to pull everything off the bike to swap out what we wanted to swap out. So everything except dropping the motor out. So front end was off, back end was off, everything except for the motor and the electrics. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say bad management because, you know, they are very expensive, Dainese. So I think Alpine Star's taken a lot of their market, and Dainese has basically priced himself right at the top. And we all know what's been happening in the last few years. It's a global problem as far as having extra money around to buy stuff. So yeah, we'll see. So the bikes, anyway, so the 2 bikes are done, finished them officially in the weekend. Last weekend, the rear shock came back from getting a rebuild. Finished that, put that back on, no problem. Easy to put on once you had access to where it goes, but I had to take everything off to get to that. So that was a bit of a bugger. But anyway, yeah, long time. And I don't know, a couple of mates come over with, one of my mates, old Guzzy Mike came over today with this nice 850 Guzzy, the TT one, and he loves that one. But again, that's a brand new bike, so he's going to be, riding that till he just gives up on that. So the one at Wind Whistle, no, because the one at Wind Whistle was yellow. Low K's, but it was yellow, and I was like, no, I can't do yellow. So there was one at Wind Whistle, there was one at Rangiora, and there's one at, I think, Rolleston. Rolleston one's still for sale, and he's dropped the price, and I'm kicking myself because it's still going down. But anyway, it is what it is, and I got my stuff, so here we go. Yeah, Alpine Star crazy, eh? Skiing gear. Yeah, it makes you wonder, Q, whether the Dainese stuff's actually made in Italy or whether it's designed in Italy, right? You know how they all go now. So, anyway. Oh, yeah, so what else we talking about? Oh, we just talk about Harley. So Harley-Davidson's been, what keeps jumping over? That ain't a Harley. Anyway, Harley-Davidson. So they announced, if you remember right, a couple of years ago, they released 2 new small models into the Australasian market, I guess as a test to see how they go. I think it was a 500 and a 350. Both of them made in Thailand, I think they were made. And then all of a sudden they canned them. So whether that was because of poor sales or whether that was they decided to go another way. But anyway, they have another crack at it. The Harley-Davidson Sprint. It's their new entry-level bike for 2026. Does look a little bit more cruiser-ish, maybe, I don't know, than the ones we just saw. Excuse me. But we'll see, they got to do something because their market shares all dying off. So that ain't just something they're not going to survive. It's as simple as that. So, these are made in India, what? I bet they're keeping that quiet. Anyway, we'll see what happens with the old Harley. It's, yeah, I don't know, bit of a niche market these days. Only certain sort of attracts only certain people, and we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, the jury's out. We don't know much about the bike, to be fair. So, as we get more information, we may circle back around and talk about the old Harley. What else we've got here is official photo. It's not official. It's an unofficial photo, semi-naked, of the Norton V4 sport bike. So looking very much like a bit of a naked Ducati, to be honest. But it's out on the road. Bodywork, we're not sure what the bodywork is looking like at the moment. I know they've gone away from the Bowie front end. So if you can see there, get out of the way. So there you go. Yeah. Well, I know with the Harley they had that Joaquin guy from Germany or Switzerland that tried to go woke. I know, and we all know what happens when you try and go woke. And he tried to reinvent the wheel or something, and like Jaguar, which of course you got to know your market, don't you? You got to know who you're trying to sell to. So yeah, not so good. Anyway, yeah, yeah. There's people that ride Harleys, and then there's everybody else, and you can pretty much, I guess, break it into that. I got nothing against anybody riding a Harley. I know guys that ride Harleys very fast, and if you can ride a Harley fast, you're a damn good rider. So anyway, it is what it is, I guess, with the old Harleys. But here's the latest Norton. Who knows what the price is going to be? They're just pouring money into it. The Indians basically own Norton, and they've been pouring millions of pounds into it and really selling very few bikes. I think they sold like 30 bikes last year. But anyway, this one here is going to be maybe a less bespoke type of bike. I don't know, V4 sport bike. It's going to have all the good bits. So interesting to see what the price is. And then, of course, who's going to service it for you, and if you live in England or Europe. Not sure what they're doing as far as distributors and representatives in each country is going to be like. So yeah, I rode one too, a few years ago, and I should have recorded it because I've never ridden one before. In Mexico, and they torquey, and they take off and then they just run flat. They're good at very bottom end, and then it just runs out of puff. But do we get the BSA here? I don't know, Steve. I've seen those BSAs, the twins, the Gold Star, the water cooled Gold Star. But I'm not sure. Yeah, it's not a very good picture, really. I mean, they've got all the bodywork off. That's probably for a reason. For that reason, a lot of people taking a photo of it. See, they've got single-side swing arm, so they've gone the Ducati-ish way. And the old mate, Troy bit the dust and had quite a painful accident. He hasn't lost any limbs or anything, but for a guy that's in his 50s, and I've seen video of him riding it in New Zealand last year, he certainly hasn't lost any speed or much speed. Anyway, he come a cropper and broke a bunch of ribs. He's all smashed up in here, but he's not going to lose any limbs or anything like that. So I wish him the best. The guy's still right amongst it, mate, and dead right. He's a world Superbike legend. Supposed to be a really nice guy. I bet you're super down to earth. Remember old Troy Bayliss? He came into Superbike racing quite old. I think he was about 26 when he first got into it. Come from a dirt bike background. There's a lot of them do. So, yeah. Troy Bayliss. Anybody met him? I have met Casey Stone. There's a good story there, but I'll tell you about it another time. So what else has been happening? Well, I was supposed to be going to MotoGP in Australia at Phillip Island in October. And I had Steve on the line, and we're talking, and I found my flights. Everything was set, and I was about to click purchase or buy. And I thought, well, hold on. I've got a meeting with my boss tomorrow in the morning. I'll buy them after I've had a meeting with my boss. And as luck would have it, my boss wants me in America at the same time. So, unfortunately, I've had to push that trip back another year, which is a shame. I'm really looking forward to it. And Steve is going to look after me and show me how it all works over there. So I'm sure we'll be able to get in and get it done next year. So you'll have to just give us a live report from Phillip Island. That's right in the middle of October, actually, in case you didn't know. Anyway, right on. It's some of the news. In fact, that is all the news I had saved up. Oh, you did meet him? True. Yeah, good on you. That Panther video. So if you've gone onto our channel and you've had a look at the, there's a beautiful 600 TD2 Panther replica down there. Wow, this is really ever going to get. That's generated a lot of interest on the channel and a lot of views. If you don't know, that was Steve. We all know by now, but that was Steve built that one. It's just, over 5 years. He bought a normal old dusty, rusty old SL 600 Panther and turned it into that beautiful beast. like to see where it is now. I'd love to get a bit of video of it actually on the track, but it is what it is. And I see Q's been busy over winter. He certainly hasn't let the frosty mornings slow him down. I see he did get a wet. Yeah, he did. He was camping out the back of Geraldine, actually, not far from here, one weekend, and they got a bit of rain, but they made the best of it and had a good time. It was a great video. That was the last video when they went into town and the Geraldine here, went to my mate's supermarket and got themselves some firewood for the fire in Waihi Gorge, just out of town here. So, anyway, he certainly hasn't slowed down much over winter, whereas myself, I've been pretty bikeless for the last couple of months. So we'll see. Now I've got both multi-stratas are all back together. I'll be selling one. Fairly high K, but it's got a lot of good. It's in very good condition. The motor's pulling well and all that. It's got a recently replaced clutch, chain, rear sprocket, some other bits and pieces. That I'm going to sell. Although the market at the moment for bikes is very soft, but I suspect that's a worldwide thing. 4 minutes to go of FP1. Who's fastest at the moment, Steve? There's old Mark up there on MM 93. Yeah, Q, you got to keep riding. Well, you certainly do that, my friend. Got a very understanding wife, that's for sure. Mine would kick me to the curb if I was away every weekend. But anyway, now I am going doing a road trip this weekend with the old missus in the car down the Maniatoto, which is of course the pig route and all that, very famous. Which is probably a route we're going to take Steve on when he comes over for the Burt. Who knows? I might still have a spare multi-strata for him by then. Riding two of them. So anyway, I'm doing a bit of a trip down there to look at a couple of things, just something to do in winter. Next weekend is round 5, I think it is, of the Bears Winter Series up at Ruapuna near Christchurch. That's on next Sunday, so I'll be going up for that. They do have a go class as well, and that's open to any bikes. It's not doesn't have to be a Bears bike. Steve, I'm looking at you, Steve Hammond. Yeah. So not sure who else is here. Stretch said he was going to be here. He hasn't said hello yet. Kim, I haven't seen Kim for a while, so I'm not sure what's happening with Kim. But go, Mark. Thank you, Steve, for that update. So Marquez is P1, P2 is Banyaya, and P3 is old Bazecchi. Oh yeah, so they're all right amongst it, eh? Yeah. Yeah, well. Yeah, well, not far from your place, Q, if you wanted to zip across the Bears on the Sunday. Steve did a track day there a month ago, didn't you, Steve? Loved it. Yeah, well, I won't tell you that last time I raced at Ruapuna, I T-boned old Bruce Ansley. Yeah. Both of us on Kajivas. That was, I guess, that was his first dabble in racing. Down to Thunder. Probably 1990 or 89. Stretch is here. Oh, that's good. So, Stretch was just saying yesterday we went for a ride for ages. It's about time we got out. And I was like, got these bikes back together now, so I'm up for it. another local guy that was just joined the crew. He's not here, I don't think, in the chat, or if he is, he's not saying anything. But young Cam, he's got himself a beauty Ducati Monster. So we'll surely you'll get to meet him and see him on the rides and stuff. He's coming up. So for just while we're talking about, somebody asked me yesterday or today about room at the for the Burt trip. If you're planning on coming down the Burt trip with us, need to know there's only so many beds. We could probably squeeze another one or two on couches because they're big, beautiful couches, and the units have got the room. But if you're considering coming with us down to the Burt, let me know because I need to confirm the accommodation. You've still got plenty of time, but good to know so I can say to people, yes, we've got room, or no, we haven't. Some of you, of course, are on the list. Martin P8, that's pretty good. So if you remember MotoGP, Jorge Martin, of course, he was last year's world champion. Had early crashes of the season and injuries. Broken ribs, punctured lung twice. Had a big ding-dong with Aprilia because it was his first year with Aprilia. And was, I don't know, he's a bit prima donna-ish about it. And wanted to ditch them. And they says, no, we've got a contract. And anyway, it was getting ugly, and his lawyers must have spoken to him and says, hey, look, just pull your head in and do your stuff. So he came back at the last round, which was Czechoslovakia, I think, just before the summer break, and he got a top 10 finish. I think he finished 8th, which is pretty good. First race back after being smashed up, because he was pretty banged up. So, and of course, one of the other Aprilia riders got on the podium. So now, like, well, you can't use that get out of jail free card that the bike's no good, which was what his argument was. So it looks like I've managed to patch things up, and he's into it. So there you go. So Jorge Martin P8 after the first practice FP1. Oh yeah. So Q's talking about. That's right. I wonder the Moto Social. Anyone else ever gone to those? You know what a Moto Social is? So Moto Social is just you rock up there. They don't care if you're on a bike or not, but it's obviously a bike one. And they change the place, location each time, and you just go up there and just chill out and look at all the bikes. I went to one, was it when it was Casbolt's a couple of years ago, and actually it's better than it sounds. You'll get, I don't know, how many bikes, Q, you reckon, turning up to these things? Upwards of 60 to 100 bikes or more, all types of bikes. So no matter what you're into, you'll see something that's interesting there. And just wander around and just talk to people. So they seem pretty cool. And that's quite funny. Because if there's any girl that turns up on a motorbike, the whole place stops and watches her pull in. And then they wait till she takes the helmet off. And if she's under sort of 45, they're all wiping the drool off their chins. And there is a couple of tidy ones, as Q could probably confirm. But yeah, I must get into another one, Q, and go and do another Moto Social. It started in Canada, but there's cities all around the world. If you Google Moto Social, there's a big website. Tells you all the cities in the world that run these things, normally over the summer months. There you go. The weather's good, 100 plus, easy. And that's a place like Christchurch. Makes me wonder if they'd had them back in the bike heyday. Q, you were there when I was there, Christchurch in the 80s. when there were a lot more people riding motorbikes. You imagine what they would have got then. But of course, how do you get the word out? You know, the internet now is so easy to get the word out to everybody. Yeah. That's the other thing too. Is, Greymouth Street races are coming up. So Greymouth Street races, they're every Labour weekend, of course. It's one of 2 street races left in New Zealand. It's the only one left in the South Island. They start the proper race day is on the Sunday. That's practice on the Saturday. The weather has been pretty good for the last few years, considering it's West Coast. So we're going to be riding over for that. That's the weekend just after I get back from the States. So I'm not sure what my leave pass will be looking like for that trip. So, but yeah, if you're keen to go, I know Spike, old Aaron from Nelson, he's put his hand up and he said he's going to come down. Remember last year before we got snow on the passes and all that. So, and he couldn't make it because all the roads were closed. So, anyway, he's still keen to get back there this year. And so, yeah. Yeah, Cam's on. G'day, Cam. So, yeah. Street racing, always a good time there. It's a neat ride over. And there never seems to be that much traffic on the roads when we've done it. Good ride over. And then, of course, you're right there. There's the fence. There's the curb. And then there's the bikes. You don't stick your hand out. You'll hit one of the race bikes going past you. So it's a great weekend. We use pretty basic accommodation. Of course, town is full. 20,000 people turning up for that weekend, especially being Labour weekend. But we get some good quality bunk rooms down at the camping ground. Very good modern ablution blocks. Very nice. And, of course, it's cheap accommodation for us. When you split the room up between everybody. So if you want to go on that, look out on the Facebook page. I'll put a notice up for that, and then people can start putting their names down. Got to be pretty sure, though, because I do have to pay for that in advance, and there's no refunds. So, yeah. Been burnt a few times, so I don't want that to happen again. Anyway, there you go. Have you tried fitting in the Burt in the replica dustbin? No, I never have, mate. I never have. So there's 2. I think there's 2 or 3 of them floating around, and you can hop in, and there's got a backdrop behind you that's Bonneville, and you pretend you're Burt and get your photo taken. Of course, one of them, or at least one of them, is right in the Hayes, Hayes, which is the it's the hardware store where most of the Burt memorabilia is, because he was good mates with the Hayes guy that had the hardware store. So that's where you go to see all the Burt stuff. Burt, the actual guy, not the museum. The Mega Motorcycle Museum is fantastic. Like, you'll need 2 or 3 hours to get through that, and it's about 3 floors, but it's not where most of the Burt Munro stuff is. Most of Burt's stuff is at the hardware shop just around the corner. And, of course, they put cones out. If you've seen in the other videos, they put cones out, so it's only parking for motorbikes. So anywhere you want to go, anything you want to see, you can be able to park right outside. So that's the Burt. And I think Cam's planning on coming down on that, so there's a new face there. I spoke to... your missus got in it. Oh, that's good. You'd be too tall, Steve. I'm not too tall. I might be a little bit round. Yeah, so Guzzy, Mike, and Nigel turned up today on their bikes for a yard because I hadn't seen them for a while. Mike's, yeah, he wants to go back down again. Nigel doesn't normally do the Burt, so yeah, there's a few of the usual suspects going down to the Burt. And don't forget, that's the first weekend of February, so middle of summer. And those roads down there are sublime. 1, there's no traffic on them, very little traffic. 2, they've got that really good chip seal down there that's got all the quartz in it, so it's very hard, good quality roads, and just sublime scenery. I love it going down there. We haven't decided the route we're going down this year. Probably somebody else's turn to pick the route we're going to go. But doesn't really matter. Whichever way you go is freaking fantastic going down to there. I haven't decided how long I'll take to get back up. Last time we went up the West Coast, went up Milford Sound and West Coast. There was 3 or 4 of us on that one. That was really nice. Got a few ideas of which way to come home and which way I want to go. I wouldn't mind actually camping in the Catlins one night, somewhere around there. Yeah, definitely don't want to. I've done the whole go down in one day and come back in one day, and it's too brutal, too brutal. So yeah, I don't mind breaking down under a day or two to get back, and then we can have a couple of beers. And good to park up the bike about 3 or 4 in the afternoon and have a couple of beers instead of it turning into a massive big freaking Pedro. Yeah, where's Pedro going? So Pedro Costa, he was like a new guy last year. He'd moved up from Moto 2, and he's done all right, but he hasn't. He's been top 5, top 10 most of the time. So, but anyway, his contract with KTM comes up, so he's going somewhere too. I'm not sure where he's going. Yeah. What are you drinking, Q? Some of your home brew that you made? Probably away gone to get it. I'm not sure about Pedro, but I thought that Jack Miller was the only one left that didn't have a seat yet, so not sure. Right on. What else happening? Just looking at the comments. So we got Steve Hammond, Steve, 2 Steves, we got Q, we got Cam, we got Richard. Still somebody else being a bit shy. Or maybe if you don't have a Google account, you can't sign into Facebook and write your comments. You got to be signed into Facebook, to YouTube, to get into the chat and to have a YouTube account. If you've got a Google email, it's automatic. Gmail will get you straight in. So. Yeah, I know there's definitely one guy from Moto 2 coming. They turned down that Aaron Carney. That's the guy with all the chats. He's gone off to World Superbike. So, but there is one guy from Moto 2 that's going into, I think he's going to ride for Trackhouse. I'm not sure. Yeah. A few people jump in and have a look. I guess it comes up in the algorithms. There might be only sort of 4 or 5 or 6 of us here, and then in a week's time, it's had 40 views. So how long people stay, I don't know. Listen to me twanging away. Yeah, the guy with lots of tats. He's the one that went to he's going to go to World Superbikes. That's Aaron Carnett. All the tats and that down there. And I reckon he's not. He won't go to MotoGP. None of the factories want him because of all the tats he's got. It's not the right image, that they want to portray or whatever. I think the guy, the tie rider, I think they'll drop him off too. He hasn't really fired at all, and you can say that, Steve, because I probably sound more like an Aussie than a Kiwi. Anyway, oh shit, who were we talking about? I've got a few tats here floating around from back in the old army days. Back when I was young, and no motorbike ones though, and no girls' names. I was smart enough to know that those names would be changing fairly often, so I didn't bother. Yeah, I guess the Europeans, QA, the Europeans, a bit like that. You know, it's all, you know, the factories want that clean image and all that sort of thing, I imagine. Might be a different story in America or somewhere. What are you drinking, Q? You still brewing your brews? Bit of Q's jungle juice there. Anyway, I don't know what else we could talk about right now. Cam, you still here? Probably gone because you're a bunch of old guys. Anyway, actually I've got Cam's bike. We did a start up and exhaust sound video of Cam's bike, so you'll get to hear Cam's bike if you go on and look for one or two videos back on the channel. You'll see Cam's monster, very nice monster, low K monster, looks brand new. So, but I guess there's a lot of that going on at the moment. People unloading bikes that they don't use or whatever. Oh, last of a rum. I like my old rum. I like the Caribbean rum. Actually got a mate just got back from Thailand, and I asked him, I says, if you find the stuff called Mekong, grab me a bottle. Left over from the old army days. And sure enough, he come back with a bottle of Mekong. Haven't drunk it yet. But yeah. I don't know. I'm sure they frickin' mix magic mushrooms in with that stuff. It's pretty strong. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen to Rins. I thought Zarko would probably retire. He's got to be getting up there in age. And old Alex is, yeah, I don't know. No, I haven't ridden that CF Moto. That's the neighbours. It was a neighbour. She was going to get into riding, and you know, got the bike and changed her mind. So done like 300 k's. It's like brand new. But no, I haven't ridden it. Yeah, well, I hope they do, Q. Hope more people do. You know, we can diss the old Chinese bikes, but you know what? If they get more people into riding, they're not going to stay on the Chinese bikes forever, are they? You know, some guy that's in his 40s or whatever, and he thinks, I'm going to go and ride a motor, because, you know, it's not so much young. He's going to look at one of those CF Motos and think, oh, that's a cool looking bike, little chopper, you know, because he won't know what a bobber is, what the difference is, or anything like that. So he'll go and buy one of those CF Moto things, ride it, get his confidence, and then just realise that he needs something more, and he's in, you know, he'll go and upgrade and get a decent bike. So I hope so, QA. I mean, you remember when we were young fellas around Christchurch, there was plenty of bikes. There was that, even a massive big bike parking area in the square at the north end of the square, just along from Warner's, I think. There was that little round guy that had a name tag, and he was a motorcycle guardian. And he didn't ride or anything, but you could park up there and keep it on your bikes for you when you're at the movies. It was a great time to have bikes back then. Well, that's when everyone went to all the rallies and stuff as well. So, you know, there's plenty of young people at the rallies. Oh, I have seen pictures of that CF Moto Sport bike, yes. Yes, I have seen pictures of that bike. I'm waiting for CF Moto. Someone's going to do it. CF Moto or Barge, Jadge or whatever it's called. Someone's going to end up in MotoGP. That'll really put the cat amongst the pigeons. I think it'll be fantastic. You remember that guy, Q, the Guardian guy? He was like the bike guardian. I don't know if do you remember him or not. Yeah, I'm with you, Steve. They'll end up like the Hyundais. I think people will work out. The problem with the Chinese bikes, everyone's still got that hangover left over from, reliability and the fact that, build quality and the more the metallurgy, if I pronounce that right, the metallurgy, what metals are they using? Because we know that there's been some dodgy stuff happening, with as far as quality of metals and that, and we know which countries normally presents the rest of us with that issue. And I think that's really, if we see CF Moto and see what they're doing in 5 years, that bikes, new CF Moto bikes today, what's happened to them in 5 years' time, that'll be the measuring stick. But of course, you can't speed up that time. It has to be, like so. There's no CF Moto out there that's done frickin' 60,000 Ks. There is none. So nobody knows, The only ones that might, or probably might have an idea would be, the guys that built them or that produced that metals and those alloys that are in them. So, see, that's right. I agree, Steve. They're up their game, all right. You think about it. 20 years ago, I spoke to some manufacturing guys. They would make the dies here in New Zealand, design it, make the dies here, send the dies up to China, and they produce the stuff for them. That was 15, 20 years ago. Now, the dies, everything's made up there because the quality's freaking up there now. Look at Cove. Look at Cove motorbikes. They got two, the top 10 at Dakar. Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I think they are, they've definitely upped their game. There you go. 450 MT has done 30,000. It's all in the metal. Steve would know more than most, I'm sure. But that's that's how it works. Must be negative for the bike retail. Yeah, I'm sure, because we're going to get that road user charge. They're going to. I was hoping they were going to not put it onto bikes, but like all governments now, they'll bring every last drop of money out of you they can. So, yeah, Rego's negative. Yeah, it's not a very few people with daily runners anymore. It's all lifestyle. People riding bikes for lifestyle. When we were young fellas, you're into bikes. That was your daily transport, right? Yeah. Right on, team. Running out of stuff to talk about. Been bloody good to see everybody. Steve, once again, I thank you for your hospitality and apologise for not making it over this year. I'm gonna make it next year. And if you know me, I don't say things lightly. I'm well known for saying, if I say it, I'm gonna do it. So, guess that's all I can say about that. Yeah, you're right. There'll be a weight class, a motorbike weight class. Yeah. Yeah. Half ton to 0. Oh, yeah, you guys fit in that. Yeah, man. Well, look, Steve, as far as the bet goes, I'm not going to give that other bike away, so if I've still got it here, you'll be able to reminisce and be like old times. All right, team, take it easy. Thanks for coming in. Really look forward to talking to all you guys once a month. It's good to get some guy time. Hopefully I'll be into the beers next time. My throat will be fixed by then. Have a good month. Stay safe on the roads. Watch out for the freaking mad buggers. And, of course, I'll see you guys on the road. Q. We've got a ride together one Sunday, don't we? Alrighty. Catch you next month, everybody. Cheers, guys.